Hi knitters, it's Mimi with Pastiche Knitwear, and today's tutorial is on a recommendation from one of my great viewers named Emma, who looked at the garter stitch, how to fix a drop in garter stitch, and had a little problem on her own work and was trying to figure it out. So she sent me a picture of her work, and what we determined was that she did not actually have a dropped stitch. So I wanted to do a video on showing you how to determine whether you actually do have a dropped stitch or not. In this little sample that I've done, what I've done is pulled out some stitches here. This sample, although you see these elongated horizontal strands like we talked about in the other Fix-It video, they look like there's a dropped stitch there, but there is actually not. And I want to show you how you can tell, and I'm going to use my handy tool to help. If you look at the first stitch on the tip of the left-hand needle and you follow it down here, you want to follow it all the way down to here. And then we'll take the first stitch on the right-hand needle, and I want you to follow the column of those stitches all the way down until we're past where the stitches are elongated. And here's one stitch here and one stitch here, which means that there does not need to be a stitch in the middle here. So the problem that we have with this sample is not a dropped stitch at all. It's a tension issue. Now, sometimes students will ask me, what did I do? How did it happen? And I tell them they have to pay me extra for me to tell them what they did. Sometimes, really, I don't know. It is a tension issue, and it may be that because you have a tension issue on one row, when you get to it on the following row, there's an unconscious kind of doing of the same thing. I don't know. So I want to show you what I do with something like this. And this is where the lovely handy tool comes in, because I do use this quite a bit. So I'm going to just take this little extra, and I'm going to grab each leg, and then just in succession, sometimes with the purl bumps I kind of pull on the bottom as well, I'm going to ease the fullness in that spot over several stitches, and you can come both directions. Okay, so we can already see on this one we've tidied that up. So we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to do this up here. It looks like the purl bumps are the ones that are the most to blame here. I'm just going to take each one. If you don't have a handy tool, just get a smallish needle and that'll be fine. So what you're doing as we do this is we're just leaving a little bit behind every time we go. And I'll take a little bit over here and come this other direction. And I use this technique quite a bit just to neaten my stitches up. Okay. There's that. I would probably wait on these that are up toward where I'm doing the live knitting, because I don't have as much room to work, but we can do just a teensy bit here. Okay, and you can see that now there is actually no drop at all. So let me show you something. Let me do a couple stitches over here, or just one, because okay, so now let me just go ahead and drop this down. So what Emma was saying was she kept looking for the head of the stitch and couldn't find it. So especially if you cannot find a head of the stitch, double check it. So let's do the same thing that we did at the beginning. Here's the first stitch on the needle, and I'm going to follow that down, and it's here. Now here's the first stitch on the right hand needle. I'm going to follow that column down, and it's right here. And so I can see that I do actually have a stitch in the middle that is missing. So hopefully this is helpful to you to determine whether you actually have a dropped stitch or not. And you can go look at the other video. I won't take the time to go pick that up right now. So this was just something else. I hope this is super helpful. I'm trying to keep all of us knitting while we're isolated. So give me a holler if you need some help. Please, I would be happy to help you all. So have a great day. Bye.